When I enter a room in Hitman 3, I survey the area not for guards, cameras, or costumes. I survey the area for things. Things that I can yeet into a person's head to knock them out. More chaotic than a melee kill and way more satisfying than a headshot. Agent 47's best tool is his masterful ability to throw things really well. A burger to the face feels better than a knife in the back for 3 reasons: auto aim, weight, and animation. Imagine tirelessly stalking a target, grabbing the perfect costume, finally getting them alone, and when the moment is just right, throwing a combat knife at them. You hold your breath as it sails toward the target, and then it falls at their feet with an audible clang. A question mark appears over the target's head, and heavily armed guards light you up like RoboCop. A world-class assassin ruined by a world-class goof. Hitman's forgiving projectile lock-on system is meant to ease new players into the complexity of the game. Here's Sidsel Marie Hermansen, lead game designer at IO Interactive, explaining why they did it.
It's about the reliability and it's a difficult enough game as it is, right? So like if we have to make a choice, then we would lean towards like, let's give the player like a winning, a rewarding experience rather than, I failed again, I failed again.
Targeting in Hitman is a binary state. If you see the green ring around their head, you know that the throw will absolutely hit, no matter what. If you have the green lock on and the person turns a corner, the orange you've thrown will follow them around a corner and make juice. Once a thing leaves your hand, it's no longer your responsibility and it blue shells right towards them. As senior game designer Eskil Mold tells me,
there is this Sansa level and Sansa will show up and then he will sort of disappear. But you can get a lock on while he's disappearing and then throw, and even though he's gone and to the other side of the level, that knife will just follow.
And then it hits him.
And then it hits him and you can find him like on the other side of the level with a knife in his head and he will not move any further.
IO created the throw for Hitman Absolution. They expanded the mechanic for this new Hitman series, but it's still pretty close to the final draft version, which defied physics, but was good enough.
So I think it got sort of kept as in, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
You can always trust that the thing that you hucked is magnetically locked onto their skull, leaving you time for cool punchlines such as, "I didn't ask for this. You're busted. Please recycle. Knife to meet you. Screw you. Welcome to the club. Study this blade. This is your cue." The auto aim in Hitman precisely locks onto a character's head regardless of the item. Auto aim in other games lets you target the other parts of the body after it clicks into an enemy center area. IO Interactive won't allow you to target other parts of the body for a perfect reason.
Other than it being maybe potentially very satisfactory, right? But then it's sort of expensive to do. We needed to have animations.
Skill means expensive in terms of developer time. Programming a different state into a security guard who just had a can of Dr. Pop winged into his knee would create a lot of work and already add a lot more chaos to a complex system. So we'll gladly settle for headshots only.
Area is all clear. Please advise, over.
I was honestly scared of the throwing mechanic when I entered my first Hitman level. Would this game weigh down Agent 47 if he carried all of these items? As it turns out, no. 47's tailored suit pockets could hold more things than a theater tech's cargo pants. He can carry 5 hammers, 2 cans of soda, a bushel of apricots, a snow globe, and a one-headed mackerel in a solid gold brick. IO plays fast and loose with the physics, modifying the mass in the name of fun. A wrench is weightless in 47's pockets, but the moment it collides with a guard's head, it looks like it weighs 50 pounds. It's especially satisfying when you pick up something that's too big to pocket. The heftier two-handed objects are just so chunky. Let's take a look at one of my favorite throwable objects, the fire extinguisher. When the fire extinguisher leaves 47's hands and plows into an NPC's head, you hear this metallic ding as it crushes into their face. Then another big metallic sound as it hits the ground. But Josh, what about a smaller object? Well, let's analyze this can of a delicious American soft drink. You can hear the dense thud as the cannon implodes into an NPC's head. While the hiss of sugary liquid enters the airwaves, the detailed sound design gives an immediate, unique feedback instead of a generic thud on every object. That bonk of a soft drink hitting a skull reminds me of that scene from Home Alone 2. You know, the scene with Kid Jigsaw lobbing bricks at the wet bandits. When I look at these clips side by side, I think about how NPCs in Hitman fall the same way. They're not just going limp, they're acting a bit. The animation is a massive part of why the throwing in Hitman feels so good. When we slow it down a bit, we see that this poor NPC does not collapse instantly. They stiffen and stumble before flopping onto the ground, a little two-step before going night-night. The physics system allows for a lot of outcomes, and all of them are entertaining. A target can go stiff and fall like a tree, collapse in a heap, or go flying with an axe stuck in their face. When I started paying attention to Agent 47 throwing a blueberry muffin at an NPC's head, I got the sense of power from every throw. That's because he throws like a Marlins pitcher on a good day. Let's look at that 47 footage again with the 6 parts of a powerful throw. The windup of an overhead pitch has the energy that is transferred from stride leg to pivot leg. Most of the velocity of an overhand throw is generated from step and body rotation. In the cocking phase, a substantial amount of energy is transmitted to the shoulder. Then that arm moves into the ideal pitch position. The arm acceleration phase begins as soon as the arm moves forward and ends when the arm fully extends with the item on its way to a target's head. Once that happens, the arm decelerates as it follows through. Pitchers have mastered the art of throw ball very hard. There's a reason why batters get a base when they're hit by a pitch, and there's a reason that birds have been known to explode. The average MLB fastball is around 92 miles per hour. Imagine a snow globe being thrown at 92 miles per hour by a trained assassin. When I see Agent 47 twist his hips as he cocks his arm back, I know someone is about to be sent to Kirby's dreamland. The throwing in Hitman is one of the core pillars of how the player interacts with the world. It had to feel good to balance out the game.
So if you didn't have the throwing, you would only have like firearms, like longer, and some of them long, very long range, some of them closer range, and then up close, like melee, right? So the throwing is kind of the in between. So I think it would just remove a lot of the fun stuff and the ballet you can do in between.
Shooting a target is easy. Stabbing them is kind of gross. Throwing an exploding golf ball at a target as they're attempting to run away from you is a different feeling entirely. Mostly joy, but I don't want to end up on a list or anything. Instead, I will look at different careers that Agent 47 can do instead of murdering. I'm a fan of him becoming a closer for the Marlins. That kid's got an arm on him.